Good people, good people, good people. Welcome back to episode 10 of Backtable Talk. All right, we got my guy Jordan back in the building.
Yes,
Welcome
sir.
back, bro.
Appreciate it, bro.
Welcome back to the pod. I know it's been a second since you
Yes,
guys have
sir.
seen his face on the pod, but he's back, So let's get to business and let's get it popping. You guys know who I am, KO8, Kyndell Overton, your host. Last episode, my brother and I talked a little bit about the draft class and kind of what we were able to get. A lot of great players added to the roster. I love the direction. I love the way we're going, man. Like the Ravens, I'll say this to start off. These past 2 months have been tough as Ravens fans. We've had to deal with a lot of change, a lot of just unknown. A lot of hit pieces. Lamar's not signing a contract. Oh, what's going on? New coach. Your OC Declan as your quarterback. Just a lot of headlines. And I think finally we're getting close to a point where we get to put the headlines to rest and put the pads on.
Yep.
Finally, the
Yep.
pads that do all the talking. So I want to kind of just get into the schedule today. The first half of the schedule will go weeks 1 through 8. My boy Jordan and I will go ahead and lock in, and then we'll be back hopefully within a week or two with weeks 8 through 18. Okay. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right. So first off, Jordan, they dropped the schedule. There were a lot of reactions. A lot of fans, Falcons Nation had a lot of reactions on Twitter I saw. Before I even say my reactions, I want to hear your reaction. So when you saw the schedule, what were your first thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's interesting the way it's set up this year. I think the biggest thing is the way the season ends, honestly. With the 4 divisional games that end the season, that's kind of what stands out to me. But I think a lot of times I feel like in the past seasons we've had a lot of early divisional games or just early big games in general. Last year we were against the Bills. Year before that, prime time against the Chiefs. So it's definitely a little bit different this year. First couple weeks are just 1 o'clock games against some teams that we're not like too familiar with. We don't play them too often. So it's going to be interesting and a little different, but I think it's going to be exciting, and no matter what, we're going to be having to play our best football towards the end of the season if we want to make the playoffs, win the division, get the number 1 seed, whatever it comes down to. Those games are going to be very crucial for sure.
Yeah, man, I agree. You said it well, bro. Like, I mean, it's the past years, like the Ravens have kind of been like the media darlings, if you will. Okay, been put on prime time a lot. Not always have performed when we put on prime time, unfortunately. It's just the facts of it. But we've been like media darlings. And I think this year, we get back to being the Baltimore Bullies,
Yeah.
We're on TV nationally 4 times. That's it. Only 4 times, So it's like, no more of this spotlight on you. It's back to earn it.
Yeah.
Earn it. Everything you want in this league, earn it. We don't play a playoff opponent for almost 7 weeks.
Yeah.
Weeks 1 through 7, non-playoff opponents. We see Josh Allen week 8. That's our first playoff opponent. So I think that's a signal to us that the league's like, are they worth it?
Yeah.
Are they worth a tough schedule? Are they worth primetime games? I don't know. So they gave us back a normal schedule. And to me, it's time to turn it up.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get into it, but our first 4 matchups, lovely, man. Yo, that man behind me, he should have a field day. He should have a field day, bro. But let's get into it, all right? So week 1, September 13th, we go into Indianapolis, all right? So the Colts. The Ravens open the season on the road against the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are coming off an 8-9 season where they missed the playoffs, all right? They're also dealing with huge questions at quarterback with their quarterback who they paid money, Daniel Jones, with the torn Achilles, all right? Jonathan Taylor is still one of the best backs in football. Alec Pierce, great receiver, just got a bag. But the question looms, who is going to throw him the ball, all right? So, with that being said, I think this is a great opportunity for the Ravens to come out on opening day, make a statement on both sides of the ball, and get Minter his first win as a coach of the Ravens.
Yeah.
What do you think, man?
I agree with everything you said. Obviously, it's going to be the first game of like the new era of the Ravens.
Yeah.
So, like we said early in the season, there's going to be a lot of uncertainty. It's going to be interesting to see if we just hit the ground running or if it takes a little time for us to get in the groove, everyone get on the same page and stuff. But like I said, if you look at the rosters and as Ravens fans, what we expect, that's a game obviously that we should win early on in the season. Given Dana Jones coming off that Achilles, yeah, it's just I think if we come out and play our best, then we should be able to take care of them. One thing I will say, like you mentioned, Jonathan Taylor, obviously one of the best running backs in the league. With our revamped defensive line this season, it'll be interesting to see the first game, kind of how we handle that and how our D line looks. But yeah, overall it'll be a good test for the first game of the season. Also, another year starting the season off on the road, so
yeah,
definitely a lot of interesting kind of things to look at.
Yeah, man, road dogs. I think it's like this is the third year in a row. We opened up Kansas City 2020. What is that? 2024.
Yeah, last year's
Bills, and this year we're gonna be Indiana.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think the NFL is sending a clear message again. If you want it, you're gonna have to get it out the mud. You guys are no longer the media darlings, you know. So we gotta prove who we are again, and I'm fine with that. New regime, new coach, new just outlook on everything, bro. I'm cool with it, and like you said, something I've been thinking about is Jonathan Taylor presents an opportunity for us to see, can we stop the run?
Yeah, absolutely. Right off the bat.
Right off the bat. Because last year, it's not like we were a great run stop team. We were decent, but we weren't great.
Yeah.
Ravens defense is supposed to be great. So I think that's every game this year I'm checking to see. Not the offense, really. We have Lamar Jackson. Defensively, were you guys great?
Yeah.
Did you hold up the Ravens standard? Are you being the best that you can be when it's needed? That's the mentor tools we're going to have, so that's what I'm going to be checking for.
Yeah.
Every game, man.
Yeah. Like you said, we have high expectations for our defense as Ravens fans. So, like you said, we don't expect like an average run defense. Like we expect top of the league in that category and a lot of categories on defense. That's always how our best teams in the past, since we started as an organization, we've always prided ourselves on defense. So, it's gonna be big for sure.
I agree, man. I agree. That should be a W, though. I don't see much more to it. It should be a W. Yeah. It may be a little close just because it's week one. Mm-hmm. It's a new everything, so expect some rust. Ravens fans, please don't lose your mind if we're down 7-0 going into the second quarter. Please don't, because that could be a real thing. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything is new. We're gonna have young guys starting.
Yeah.
Give it a second to click, please. That's all I ask. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna win games. It may not be pretty at first, but it's gonna click, and when it does, we're gonna roll.
I think that's the big thing is finding ways to win games early on in the season, because there is gonna be that rust, or maybe just not even rust. Maybe it might just be us under this new both of our coordinators are different. Under these new systems, all of our players being on the same page, knowing where to be during each play, making plays. I think, like you said, if we can find ways to win early on in these games, early on in the season, stack wins, and as we go, we improve and get better every week.
That's going to be a theme. Finding ways to win football games. Uh-huh. That is something under John Harbaugh we struggled to do. Yeah. Finding ways to win. Yeah. All right, week 2. We coming back home to the bank with them fresh new jerseys, man. You feel me? So the city gonna be turned. Home opener. You already know. If you from Baltimore, you already know how I get. Yeah. Week 2, home opener, they get teed up in the city. All right. Yeah. I know my guy here. He'll be outside in the city. He'll be outside. So catch him. You feel me, bro? Catch him. Shout out back to him if you see Jordan in logos only.
Yeah, absolutely.
But week 2, home opener against the New Orleans Saints, okay? We will be bringing out the fresh new jerseys. I hope we go purple and white at the crib to start the year out, all right? The Saints are coming to us. They're coming off a 6-11 season, entering a new era under Kellen Moore, all right? Last year, Kellen Moore's first year at the Saints, it was bad. Then they started Tyler Shuck, I think is how you pronounce it. And it got better. Respectfully, I didn't think Shuck was like that. Yeah. But he is one of them. He is one of them, all right? He is one of them. They also added an explosive receiver in Jordan Tyson, a guy who many fans are familiar with because we thought that maybe he was a guy that we were going to take, but he went to the Saints pretty early. I think pairing Tyson with Chris Olave give the Saints a good a good core to kind of roll with and put the points on the board. Kellen Moore is a very high-powered play caller and high-explosive play caller, so I think they're honestly going to be decent.
Yeah.
This game's a great test for us. Yeah. Great test for us. Their defense was top 20 unit last year, too. So don't sleep on them, all right?
Yeah.
But I think this is a game where I think we're going to see Declan Doyle come out and put points on the board. He'll be fired up. First home game. Lamar's going to be fired up. First home game. Mm-hmm. So I think we're going to put points up on the board for sure, man. And I think also it's the first time we're going to face a real tough defense. They're top 20. So not real tough, but like a decent opponent defensively, all right? Jordan, how do you see this one playing out? Bro?
Yeah, I agree. I think they definitely have some good offensive weapons, like you said, with adding Tyson, having Olave, and Shaw is a good quarterback. As we saw his rookie season, he was pretty impressive, and I'm sure I would think coming in this season, he'll be more comfortable, know the system a little bit better, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good test, and having those weapons, it's going to be interesting to see how our defense holds up against them with this new system under Minter. And like we said, there could be early on the season, everyone get on the same page, that type of thing. So I think this should be a win as long as we come out on the same page, making plays, all that kind of stuff. But it's definitely not an easy win. I think a lot of fans might look at the Saints and be like, "Oh, that's a win," but we know how the Ravens are too.
Exactly.
It's never easy. It's never a guaranteed easy win. So especially like I just said, going under this new system. So as long as we come out and play well, I think we take care of them. But definitely not a given. We gotta come out and earn it for sure.
Most def not a given. Yeah. Most def not a given. And something I think about till you said it was, I mean, bro, they have Olave on one side of the field and Jordan Tyson on the other side of the field. Mm-hmm. That's gonna stress our secondary in a real way. Mm-hmm. I'm very curious to see how that looks under Minter and under Mike Mickens, of how much an improvement our DBs will have taken. Yeah. Because at that point, we're gonna need at least Nate to be on one, and whether it's Marlowe, Cheeto, Bilal Cohen, if he can get back in time, whoever it is, we need one more DB that can cover at a high level. Yeah. At a high level. So I hope that person can emerge and we can start to cover guys.
Yeah, and hopefully with our improved pass rush this season, that will kind of help out our cornerbacks a little bit, our DBs too. I definitely gave them a lot of hate last year, as a lot of people did. But I think looking back on it now that some time's gone by and stuff, it's definitely hard to cover someone for so much time when their pass rush isn't putting pressure on the quarterback. So hopefully that will help everything out as well.
Yeah, I mean, or had us in that stupid off man stuff a lot.
We also will be in a good, much better organized scheme under Minter compared to our old defensive coordinator.
Absolutely, it's gonna be way more organized and just totally different. So I definitely foresee us being locked down.
I've seen people on Twitter too, just thought about this based off what you just said, kind of saying we haven't made that many additions to our secondary and our defense in general. But I think the main thing is we have made a couple additions, but also like we just touched on with Minter, our defense should be much more organized. The system should be a lot better and a lot more improved. So I think that's honestly might be the biggest difference out of all of it. And then you add Hendrickson and some of the other players that we added in there, and hopefully our defense is going to be improved a lot from last season.
So this QB is going to be young. He's only a year or two, so that means pass rush. Yeah. Pass rush. Yeah. I expect a large dose of Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
I expect a large dose of Mike Green.
Yeah.
I expect a large dose of Zion Young.
Yeah.
I want to be gritty, get to the quarterback. That's what I want to see. Yeah. I want quarterbacks to be nervous when they wake up Sunday morning to play the Ravens. Because they're like, oh my goodness, I have to face these 5 edge rushers who are coming to ruin my damn day.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what the Ravens have to get back to. And I think Minter understands that, and the guys who are drafting have that to them. Yeah. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, here we go. Week 3. We're going to Brazil. Hop on the PJ, let's go. Okay? We're going to Brazil to play the Dallas Cowboys. All right? The overrated. My father's a huge Cowboys fan, so pardon me if I have a little hatred towards them, but the Cowboys are annoying. I'm tired of hearing them talk about how good they're going to be, and they're never going to be that good. All right? But, nonetheless, the Cowboys finished 7-9-1 last year. They missed the playoffs. Defensively, they struggled badly. The Cowboys were dead last in the league in points allowed. All right? Mm-hmm. They allowed 31 points per game. All right? So, to me, this feels like a game where we're going to continue to see the Ravens offense develop their identity under Declan Doyle in Brazil. Okay? I expect to see Lamar have a big game. National TV in Brazil for the first time. Lamar's going to be excited. We're playing a defense that gave up what? 31 points per game last year. It should be open season, all right? I want to see us cook.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, I agree. I think both sides of the ball are going to be interesting. Starting with our defense, they've always had, or at least the last couple of years, they've had an explosive, high-level offense when they're all healthy and all firing on all cylinders with, Dak, CeeDee Lamb, Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
They got Ferguson as the tight end, I believe. So they have a lot of weapons for sure. So I think this is probably the first time our defense is really going up against a really good top level offense.
I would say
so it'll be definitely interesting to see how that goes. And on the other side, the Cowboys defense struggled a lot last year, but they did make a lot of additions as well. I know they got Rashawn Gary. They got Quinnen Williams, then they drafted Caleb Downs, and it was the other Malachi Lawrence was their other first round pick. So they're definitely they're making efforts to improve that defense. But it's gonna be early on in the season, obviously. So we'll see if they're all firing on all cylinders right off the bat. But I think it's gonna be a good test. Obviously, when you're traveling so far over down to Brazil, that's a test in itself. Getting down there and playing a game there. So. Primetime game. I think this is our first kind of game for, I believe it's like a 4:30 game, but I'm sure it's going to be kind of like the nationally televised type game that week. So first game to really show like the country, the new Ravens. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good game, and as long as we are firing on all cylinders, I would think that we can take this game away, but I definitely don't think it's an easy game.
That's a great point. I didn't think about that. Like nationally, the world's not gonna know how good we are until this game.
Yeah, and then on the other side of that, it's week 3, so we're still probably gonna be figuring some things out too. So it's gonna be interesting. But hopefully we'll have a couple weeks under our belt by then to really all be on the same page and all that kind of stuff. So.
I'm sitting here thinking just how Ravens openers go and like how Ravens season start, and it's really flipper. It's like hit or miss.
Yeah, absolutely.
I believe 2 years ago when we were in the AFC Championship, we came out 0-2.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I pray it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying don't just be patient in the beginning. Just be patient in the beginning.
Yeah.
But like you said, the Cowboys are trying. Caleb Downs is one of my favorite players in the draft. I love it.
Sure.
Like he's nice.
Yeah.
Tough. Kid's tough. So they're definitely trying to get better. CeeDee Lamb, I just had this argument with a guy in the gym today. Someone asked me, would you rather deal with George Pickens or CeeDee Lamb? I said George Pickens.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb's a good receiver, but I don't think he's this franchise guy that he's kind of touted as. Yeah. He's overpaid. I don't think he produces as much as he can. But yeah, the Cowboys to me, like I said, you won't hear me say too much good things about the Cowboys. But we'll see. Dak Prescott is a good quarterback, but it's not the quarterback play; it's the system.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that Jerry Jones is gonna ever create a good system there that's gonna take them to a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for this though to be on national TV playing the Cowboys, America's team.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll give me a leg up to talk trash to my pops about it. So
it'll be a big game too. Like you said. Cowboys, obviously, America's team, whatever.
Right.
We're going to be a team of talk early on in the season, so it's definitely going to be a very hyped-up game, I would assume. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Definitely be a good game.
Absolutely. If I had to have my guess, man, this should be a game where I think it's going to be a game the Ravens come out slow, and then we put it on them. It's like a blowout after the second half.
Yeah.
All right. Week 4. We're back at the bank. All right. Again. Shout out my boy Jordan. If you're ever downtown in the city, bro, you want to see a Backtable Media affiliate.
Yeah.
Mess with Jordan, man.
I'm there somewhere.
Mess with Jordan, bro. All right. Tap in with him. For real. All our followers, listeners, tap in with us, man. If you ever happen to see us out in person, all right, it's not corny. You can say what's up, and you can say you mess with the pod, all right? But week 4, the Tennessee Titans and Cam Ward come down to face the Ravens out the bank. All right, personally, I'm a big Cam Ward fan. I like his game a lot. He's got a bit of Pat Mahomes to his game, so I definitely rock with him. He's cool with my boy Shador. If you know the pod, I respect and rock with Shador Sanders. Cam Ward and him do a lot of training together, so I do rock with Cam Ward. However, the Titans are very bad.
Yeah.
Last year, coming off a very rough 3-14 season, their defense ranked 28th in the NFL in points allowed, giving up an average 28.1 points per game. So again, another defense within our first 4 weeks that is not very good.
Mm-hmm.
I think we faced maybe one elite defense, not elite, but decent defense at first in the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But beyond that, no one else really is too much to write home about. I see a trend. Like I said, all right, not a lot of elite defenses in the beginning. Not a lot. And for me, that's great for Declan Doyle.
Yeah.
It's early. It gives him a chance for his offense to build chemistry and understand what he's looking for out of them and what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And just gain confidence before we get into that tough stretch after Week 8. So, as much as I like Cam Ward, I'm glad they got Cornell Tate for him. I think that'll be big. I saw a lot of reports on Twitter about him playing great in OTAs and just being a good receiver for Cam Ward, so I'm happy that they got him. But I just think Baltimore's defense and pass rush is going to make life very difficult for Cam Ward. At a home game in the bank, if you don't know, the bank gets rocking and it gets packed. And it's still going to be warm outside, so it's going to be packed in the bank.
Yeah.
So Cam Ward, I hope you're ready. Bring your earplugs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said. Obviously, they brought Saleh in as their coach, so that's going to improve their defense a little bit. Just kind of like same thing with the Ravens, like an improved scheme, a guy who's been around and coached a lot of good defenses. So I'm sure their defense will be a little bit better this year just based off that. But overall, there's not too much to say. This should be a game that if you look at the schedule, this is one of those games that we gotta win. Don't let it be a trap game.
Nope, it should be a W, man. Like you said, it should be a W. Come out and handle business to the crib. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. So, interesting that you said trap game.
Yeah.
Week 5. All right, our second national game. And really, one I think that I have a lot of eyes on it. The Atlanta Falcons, Monday Night Football. Mm-hmm. All right, Week 5. We head to Atlanta, too, in beautiful Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I've been down there to see that stadium. It is a work of art.
Yeah. I've never been, but I've heard it's nice.
It is a work of art, man. They're coming off an improved 8-9 season where they nearly missed the playoffs. I think it was a great year for them. Although they didn't make the playoffs, I still think that they played well. Bijan Robinson had a huge year last season with nearly 1,500 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns. And interestingly enough, Ravens O-line coach, Dwayne Lefford, was in Atlanta last year, okay? And that's a big reason why they had such a great rushing attack and do this outside zone scheme that we talked about in the past on the pod. But like you said, this game to me screams trap game. Yeah. It screams trap game. The Ravens will be coming off hopefully a W the week prior against the Titans. And then they're going to have to go on national TV and play the Falcons. And I know the Falcons QB is it's kind of questionable. Who is it? Is it Tua? Is it Penix? The left-hand bandits. They're both pretty mid to me if you ask. But I think a thing here is to just not fall into that, though. We can't be like, oh, QB play's not good. Yeah. Because they still have weapons. Drake London still is top. Yeah. Bijan Robinson's still a dog. Yeah. Kyle Pitts is still a dog. Yeah. They got pieces there, man. For sure. So it's respect them and come out and handle business. Yeah. You know? Defensively, they're not a joke. This stat surprised me. The Falcons were second in the NFL last year in sacks, with as a total unit 57. Mm-hmm. Hey, they got a young pass rusher. The kid is a menace on the field and off the field. Yeah, James Pierce Jr. He's not a joke. So I think it's going to be a huge test for Vega in that line to see, have you guys gotten better? Yeah. Can you handle elite pass rushers? Yeah. Because in the past, that's been a huge issue for our offense.
For sure. What do you feel? Yeah, and I totally agree. I think there's both sides of the ball, again, are pretty interesting in this game. Like you just touched on, for our offense, I think this is the first chance for our offensive line to really show that they've taken a step. Yep. And they'll have had a couple weeks to kind of get things going, so there's really no excuses by week 5. So I think it'll be interesting to see how they hold up against that really good pass rush. Now on the defensive side of the ball, like we said, they have a lot of weapons with Bijan, Pitts. Who am I missing? Drake London. Yeah, so they have a lot of great pieces on offense that, whether the quarterback is Tua or Penix, if they can put the ball in their playmakers' hands, they have a decent. They have good weapons and can be a good offense. So it'll be interesting to see on the defensive side of the ball too how we handle all those weapons. And I know the Cowboys game will probably be a highly talked about game, but this is our first actual primetime night game. So all the eyes will be on us, and it'll be interesting to see how we come out.
Nah, man, I agree, man. I definitely agree. I agree. All right, man. Week 6. All right. They told me about something about AP. Perfect time, man. All right. So we go to Cleveland. Going to the dog pound. At this point, the Browns need to be on Hard Knocks. Yo, it is like a reality TV show. Deshaun Watson's getting reps with the 1, Shador switchback to number 2. He's going back and forth. Monken's out here saying, "What are we doing right here? Throwing picks and 7-on-7." Like Monken's like, "I had Lamar, now I got this." Yeah. Oh my goodness, what is going on? This is crazy. So I feel for Monk. You're seeing why Cleveland's bad at football. But the Browns finished 5-12 last season. They rotated quarterbacks throughout the year before eventually landing on Shador's season late in the season. Mm-hmm. He was able to get them, I think, like 3 wins. He did all right. Not really enough to be like, oh, you're QB1, but not enough to say, hey, you're bad. Yeah. So, with that being said, Deshaun Watson was injured last year. We all know that he signed a crazy $290 million guaranteed, fully guaranteed deal.
Crazy.
Not a great quarterback, but he might have some left in the tank, and I feel like the Browns want to see what that is. Don't know if I agree with that decision, but I think they want to see what he's got. Not preferably, but I think from a football knowledge standpoint, I think that Shador Sanders is your option there to roll with him. But either way, for me, I don't really care. Because at the end of the day, whoever you put out there, I need my pass rushers to get after him. Yeah, if he's Shador Sanders, he's young, get after him. If he's Deshaun Watson, he's old, get after him. All right? The Browns always play Baltimore tough because of how aggressive and tough their defense is, and specifically their pass rush. Myles Garrett is a menace to society. Absolutely. He puts fear into every old lineman across the NFL. Like, I don't care who you are and what you think. That guy's a Hall of Famer, and he's a chaos. He creates chaos. Yeah. Pure chaos. Absolutely. Pure chaos. Mason Graham create pure chaos. Like, yo, they are not a joke. On that D-line, they are not a joke, man. Like, I'm so serious. So, again, like you said, another game, almost back-to-back games where we get to see how much has our O-line improved. Vanga Ioane, you were a top 15 pick. Show me why. Show me why. Keep Lamar upright. That's what I want to see. I want to see us really do it against 2 back-to-back elite defenses.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be another just interesting game. Obviously, it's our first AFC North game of the year. Like you said, the Browns and every AFC North team always plays us tough. It's just that type of football. And then also going against Monken, who obviously there's been a lot of change this year, but he knows a lot of our players well and that kind of thing. So I think it's going to be an interesting game. Again, like you said, they have a really good defense overall, especially obviously with Myles Garrett and them. So it'll be interesting to see how our O-line and our whole offense does against them. On the other side of the ball, they made a couple additions and have some good guys returning as well. Yep. They got Denzel Boston and KC Concepcion in the draft. And then they still have the tight end Fannin and Judkins at running back, who were pretty good pieces for them last year.
And Dylan Sampson too at running back.
Yeah. So they definitely have, again, another team that has some pieces, uncertainty at quarterback and some other things. But again, it's a test. It's the AFC North. It's away in Cleveland. It's going to be a tough game no matter what. But I think, like you said earlier on, most important thing isn't, especially in these AFC North games, is not how pretty it looks. It's coming out of the game with a win. So at the end of the day, against the Browns, we have higher expectations than the Browns do. So we need to win this game.
Well said, man. Well said. The Browns play us tough, so we have to make sure that we do everything to come out there with a win. Yeah. Really, I mean, I just want to see us look better offensively on the line. Like, that's where I want to see an improvement at.
Absolutely.
Like, in this game, we'll show it. Dwayne Leffert, can you come with a game plan to stop Myles Garrett? That's what I think. I think everyone has their test. And I think for Leffert, this is one of your big tests. Yeah. Can you come with a game plan to make sure that Garrett does not wreck Lamar's day?
Absolutely. And I think a lot of times last year with Lamar's injuries and also just pretty much the whole season after, especially after those injuries, where you could kind of tell he was kind of in his head in the pocket. I gotta get rid of the ball, or just a little uneasy in there. So I think that's gonna be huge this game and the whole season is giving Lamar the confidence that he can stand in the pocket and deliver. That's something we didn't see much of last year. Not all to his fault. Also, just if I was him, I wouldn't have much trust in the offensive line last year either. So it'll just be interesting to see how that all plays out this year. But we definitely need him to feel confident in the pocket and feel comfortable in there.
I agree, man. All right. So week 7, here we go. This is where the schedule starts to pick up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Starts to pick up just a little bit. All right. Week 7, Joe Burrow and the Bengals come to Baltimore. 1:00 game. Keep your eyes on it. Could get flexed. Okay, so here's the thing about all these games. I know I said we're on primetime 4 times. It could double. It could double if we come out hot 4-0.
Yeah.
So Cincinnati's coming off another bad year. 6-11. Joe Burrow missed 6 games with that wrist stuff. He came back, played all right. Personally, I don't like when people call it a rivalry because we've won more than we've lost.
Yeah.
But it's very entertaining, and I think it's one of the best AFC matchups.
Yeah.
I think that they have.
Yeah.
The Bengals defense struggled mightily last year.
Yeah.
Mightily. Ranking 31st overall, they had the worst rush defense in the NFL last year.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I expect to see a large dose of Derrick Henry. I know we haven't said much about him today on the episode, but he still's a Raven. He still's here. He still rushed for over 1,600 yards last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
He still is a monster. So I think this is where they start to unleash the demon in Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Slowly. It'll be a slow rollout because he's still older, and I want to make sure he's ready for Week 18 and for the playoffs.
For sure.
But this is where I think we start to see his reps and his carries uptick. And also, I think this is where Adam Randall comes in. I think this is where Adam Randall's like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
I know I'm a rookie, but I'm here. I want reps.
Yeah.
Let's go. And we could legit roll out 2 6'3+ running backs. That is what anybody would want.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's lovely. And Justice Hill, I think, can still be there, adding substance, adding something to the offense. Yeah. Rashid Ali as well. So I think this is where you'll probably see more weapons start to get involved, and I think the lineups maybe increase more.
Yeah.
I haven't talked much about this either, but I think being there with such a bad defense, attack the DBs.
Yeah.
This is where you start to pull out. Jacoby Lane, I want to see. Elias Surratt, I want to see. All those guys, I want to see more of. And I want to see it start to pick it up a bit more as a whole team, offensively and defensively, by this point in the season.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, Week 7 at this point, we've had plenty of time to really get in that groove of things, find out where our strengths are and all that kind of thing. I agree definitely with giving Henry the rock. I know the Bengals did make a couple additions to their defense. They had to because of how bad they were last year. They got Dexter Lawrence and Jonathan Allen on their defensive line. So it should be a little bit improved for sure. But regardless, when I think back to the past couple seasons against the Bengals, I think of a lot of Derrick Henry. And obviously just in general, not just this game, but for the whole season, Derrick Henry running the ball at a high level does wonders for every single part of our offense. That's if Derrick Henry's running the ball well, we're going to have a good pass game. We're going to flourish in all the areas. That's the key. So I think, giving him the ball, testing out their DBs and their new defense in general will be big. They have, obviously, a really explosive offense that has put up numbers against us in the past. And we've had some shootouts with them in the past. But then again, last year, we shut them out in Cincinnati. So a lot of different factors for this game. But I think the key for our defense is putting pressure under Burrow. And then on offense, running the ball. So really dominating both of the trenches. That just goes in general for the whole season, but especially in this game, I think that would be big.
I'm with you on that one, man. You got to dominate the trenches on both sides of the ball. Get to Burrow and protect Lamar.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure, man. And make sure Dexter Lawrence does not have a field day.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, here we go. This will be the last game of the breakdown. We're only doing weeks 1 through 8 on this episode. We'll be back with more for weeks 8 through 18, but let's get into it. This is where the schedule flips. All right, so weeks 1 through 7, we didn't see a playoff opponent. Okay? Week 8, it starts. Our first playoff opponent and our first, I'm going to say, elite opponent, respectively. I'm going to say it. I'm not the biggest Josh Allen guy, but the kid's tough.
Yeah.
Kid's tough. So, week 8, we got to go to Buffalo in Highmark Stadium.
Yeah.
Into the new Highmark Stadium, all right? We have to walk into there and get a W. Something that we have not been able to do ever.
Yeah.
Like, I think in the Lamar era, I don't think we have a win in Buffalo.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think it's 0-3.
Yeah.
So that's a serious monkey on Lamar's back,
for
bro.
Sure, for sure.
He's 0-3 in Buffalo. He's got to get it off his back. And it's hard to say, man, but in order for Lamar to get a ring, he's going to have to probably see Allen in Buffalo to get there. So he's got to get it done, man. So the Bills went 12-5 last year before losing to the Broncos in overtime during the wild card round. Josh Allen had 4 turnovers that game. If you guys remember, the 2 picks, the 2 fumbles. Not his best showing. He's going to be ready to come out on prime time. Well, my fault. This isn't prime time, but if I know the Ravens, they're probably going to be flex to prime time.
Yeah, this is a big game.
This is a huge game. Like, this is the Ravens hopefully are coming into this game 6-2.
Yeah.
At worst, 6-2. And I would take that.
Yeah.
6-2 at this point.
Oh yeah. Sure.
I'll take that. So if that can happen, we'll be in a good spot. And it's a big game, man. And I think the pressure's on Lamar to get it done.
Yeah.
Like, it's not on Josh Allen. Okay, it's never on Josh Allen. Never. It's never on Josh Allen, right?
Yeah.
The media is never on Josh Allen. It's always on Lamar.
Yeah.
So Lamar, like, we can't run from him no more. It's time to get it done.
Yeah.
When they doubt you, get it done. And I think this is a game early where we get to see, all right, here we go. This is where we need the elite Lamar.
Yeah.
I think he can be good
weeks
1 through 7, but week 8 is where I need you to see, like, that whole everything switch. You be elite.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's going to be, it's only week 8, but it's a big game because, it's, like you said, we're going out against the Bills away, a place we haven't won in forever. And I don't know. I like you said, we're going to have to, down the line, play Buffalo most likely in the playoffs. We haven't won there in forever, so this is a big chance for us to really, go in there, dominate a game, win against a really good team that is always in the Super Bowl contender convo. One of those teams that the media always hypes up and loves. So
Glazers.
So it's an opportunity to shut some people up, I guess, and like you said, dominate a team that we are most likely going to have to see again at some point. So to go in there and win, and maybe in the playoffs, if we have to go back knowing, hey, we came in here and already won this season. We have the pieces to do this. That would be big for our whole team's confidence.
I agree, man. I think something that can really propel us to a win is getting to Josh Allen. Last year, if anybody knows week 1, Josh Allen, I believe, had like an average of almost like, I want to say, like 30 seconds in the pocket to make a play. Like, that's horrible. So pass rush needs to be present and active on Josh Allen all game. All game. Hit him. Like, he has to be hit. Pressures. And then in turn, our secondary has to be better than they were last time playing the Bills.
Yeah.
But I think under Minter and Mike Mickens, our secondary will be exponentially better. Way better. Like you said, because the scheme will be different. I think they'll be way better. Mm-hmm. So, again, can't let Allen sit in the pocket and get comfortable and pick us apart. That can happen. Also, play calling on our side. Declan Doyle, by this point in the season, I hope that he fully is used to the role and he can make the right play calls when needed. If they can't stop Derrick Henry and Lamar in the run game, don't go from it. Don't go from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If 13 personnel and going 3 receivers is working, keep doing it. Keep doing it. So whatever the game dictates, Doyle, you must read it and just call it right. Because under Harbaugh and Monken, it was iffy sometimes. Like, I can't always say that they made the right play call for the right moment all the time.
Yeah, absolutely not. I think that's gonna be big thing for this coaching staff in general, the whole staff, that I hope that we see this season and going forward is, like you said, I feel like a lot of times especially in big games in the past couple seasons, we've gone away from our strengths at like times where a big play and we're trying to be like, oh, we'll catch them off guard and do something different. Like, no, if Derrick Henry's run the ball 6, 7, 8 yards per play, give him the ball. It's not that complicated. That's like, going back to the AFC Championship a couple years ago, we ran the ball I know it was less than 10 times, 6 times. Like, when we were one of the best running offenses in the game going against one of the worst defenses in running. Like, that still makes me mad. I know it makes all of us mad, but that's just an example, and there's been more examples the past couple of years of us trying to get too cute and do these little things, try to catch defenses off guard. Like, no, if we're dominating in the run game, then run the ball. Like, it doesn't matter. If they know we're doing it, we'll be better at it than them. So
pretty much, man.
I mean, I can live with it. I can live with us trying to stick to our strengths and maybe not succeeding sometimes instead of getting away from what is making us successful. So
yeah, man. You said it so well, bro. Like stick to what we do well. Don't try to get cute and pretty. Stick to what it is that we do well.
Yeah.
Like, we cannot deviate from our game plan just because we're like, oh, like you said, let's try something different.
Yeah.
Or like, let's try this.
Yeah.
Stick to the game plan.
Yeah.
All right, man. I think it's very simple. Like, just don't deviate from what has gotten us that far. Hopefully, at that point, if we're sitting at 6-2 by running the football, goddamn it, run the football.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. For real, man.
It's simple.
So it's that simple, man. It is that simple, dog. All right, so that was weeks 1 through 8. Jor, what is your record prediction? You know, I said mine.
Yeah.
Let's hear yours.
I it's always tough with the Ravens. Especially, man. It's hard because the last couple. Well, let's first of all say we're under a new system, pretty much all new coaches. So everything's changing. But the last couple of years we have had slow starts. I would say I think. Hopefully we will be 6-2. Okay. I think even if we're 5-3, I wouldn't.
You're still okay with it?
I would be okay with that, especially early on. I think the most important thing is like by this game, by week 8, that we're starting to be like, okay, this is our identity. This is like we're starting to see our players on the same page. I think, like I said earlier, going through the games, the first couple games there could be some slow starts, maybe some rust. People getting used to certain things with our scheme and all of that. I just want to see progression as we get into like week 8 and then we're about halfway through the season. That's where I want to see, okay, this is what we're good at. This is what we're gonna stick to as we get into these big games. So I'd like us to be 6-2. Knowing the Ravens, I wouldn't panic if we are 5-3. I think one of those records is probably honestly most likely what it's gonna be. But like we said, going into the end of the season, we finish off with a ton of huge, important divisional games. So really, as long as we're in the mix with going into the last 4 weeks, we're going to have a chance to separate ourselves in whatever type of way, whatever we're in position to do. So I just want to see, especially early in the season, finding ways to win and progression, getting on the same page, figuring out our identity on offensive and defense. I think that's the biggest thing. For me, so I'd love to be 6-2. I'd love to be better than that, but I think even if we are like 5-3, I really wouldn't panic as long as we're seeing improvement every week. That's the most important thing to me.
That's fair, man. I agree with you. I said 6-2. I'm gonna stand on 6-2, but if 5-3 happens, I'm not gonna freak out.
Yeah.
Because if we're 5-3, we'll still have at least one AFC North win.
Yeah.
And all those other ones are just full like record losses if they happen to be losses. So I think we'll be fine. And like you said, as long as I see improvement and I see direction, I'm okay.
Exactly.
Because all that matters is after the Buffalo game, it gets real. And then we all know how it gets that last month of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's time to go ahead and show people who we are.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that obviously we can touch on that more so next episode when we talk about these games, but I think it's kind of set up well for us in the fact that we're going to have to play a ton of important games, the last 4 games, and even obviously before that. But those last 4 divisional games are going to be huge to determine where we fall, and we'll see at that point in the season what we're kind of going for. Like I said earlier, whether it's the 1 seed, whether it's winning the division, whether it's getting in the playoffs, whatever it is, hopefully that's when we will hit our best stride. Those last 4 games of the season, they'll kind of feel like playoff games. And then once we get in the playoffs, we're like, okay, these last 4 weeks, we've really already been feeling this like pressure and these big atmospheres, these big games. So that can lead us into the playoffs and we can be in stride. And going back to what you said earlier, with what Minter said is being our best when our best is needed.
Yes, sir. I didn't say that, Joey.
That's what it needs to be in every game, but especially towards the end of the season, going into the playoffs, and hopefully go win the Super Bowl.
Bro, you took the words out of my mouth, bro. I was just thinking as you were talking, like, it's ironic that, like, Minter's motto, his theme is being your best when the best is needed. Yeah. That is the last month of our season. Yeah. It's being at the best when our best is needed.
Absolutely.
So I think it's just very fitting that that's Minter's theme and motto. Yeah. Not sure if everyone's aware, but Minter's been having segments at the end of every OTA where they do like a competition called Being the Best when your best is needed. Yeah. So he's trying to really like hit that into the ground. Yeah. And I love it because that has to be our motto because we've been the worst when our best is needed for the past like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. So I like that. Also, with him not being with the team, he obviously realizes that the Ravens in the past couple of years, we've had great moments, great times, but like you just said, when our best is needed, we have not been at our best. So I think if we can combine like being at our best in the early parts of the season or whatever game we're playing, and then also be at our best when our best is needed, that's going to be huge. And I saw Derrick Henry had a little after OTAs, he had an interview, and he actually said those words. He said, we're preaching being our best when our best is needed. Yeah. So I love that that's a message for them because I think that's really what's been holding us back. And a lot of like the media have been saying, the Ravens always choke, all of this and that. Yeah. So this season's going to be, like you said, a great test. The way it's set up is going to be a great test for us to really shut some people up and prove that we're going to do that.
Yeah, man. It's going to be lovely, man. Yeah. It's just like a full, like, Minter's leaning fully into it. Like this has been our issue. Mm-hmm. We're going to fix it. Yeah, I'm not going to run from it. We're going to fix it. Absolutely. I talked about it a bit last time, my brother on the pod, but it's a theme with the Ravens. It's like see an issue, find a solution, fix it. Yeah. In the draft, they did that. Mm-hmm. Whatever holes we had, minus center, they attacked it and fixed it. Yeah. I think the issue with not closing games is a big issue, and Minter knew that, and he's fixing it. Yeah. I saw the session yesterday. The punter, Ron Eckler, his I guess session was he had to nail a punt within 20 yards of the end zone. He did it. Yeah. So it's showing that like that motto, be the best when your best is needed, is just disseminated across the whole team, and they get it, man. We are not going to be the laughing stock of the fourth quarter anymore. Yeah, absolutely. Like that's not going to be us. We're going to close games and win games, and what? Be our best when our best is needed.
Absolutely. And last thing is I like you said, like those competitions that we're doing as like former athletes. I know that it's a lot. Doing it in practice is way different than doing it in the big game. But I know from experience, and you know from experience, putting like pressure on someone, having the team watch you do stuff like that, like that's kind of those little things get you ready for those moments. And obviously it's way different, but if you do that consistently in practice and you are putting pressure on, taking things seriously, then in the game it's going to be at least a little bit easier, or it's going to be a little bit more natural for you. So I like that a lot.
Just like you said, Jordan, like just like being former athletes, like we know like being in them situations where like you have to perform in practice under pressure to kind of feel how it feels in the game, and you have to perform, like you have to. So I think being able to simulate that as best you can is important in sports, and I think Minter's hitting on the head, man. Like I'm just excited. Like this just shows a lot of. I'm just excited and I'm ready, bro. Like I'm ready. I'm very ready, especially after the year we had this year, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm ready, but we want to say thank you for tapping in with us for another episode of Backtable Talk. Next episode, we'll have weeks 8 through 18 for you all. Same format. We'll break it down and get into it. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. We appreciate everyone who continues to support our show and tap in with our content. If you are watching or you see us on Instagram somehow through your For You page or however you see us, please watch the video, but also please press that follow button or that subscribe button on YouTube, okay? So please follow and subscribe, all right? We are trying to get our followers up and our subs up, so please tap in with us and rock with us, okay? We got more great content coming for you, all right? So if you like what you see or if you heard it, tap in with us, all right? Again, follow us on YouTube and IG at Backtable Media, all right? Let's go, man. All tap in with us, man. Let's go Ravens.
Yes, sir. Go Ravens.